Hello. You know how I drop in every Thursday for Thirsty Thursday and have a curious conversation, trying to keep creating conversation and space for the taboo and the, ooh, we don't talk about that, conversations. Well, I didn't show up this Thursday. I remember feeling like really flat out tired. I think I even went to bed at like 7:30 that night. And I was like, oh, I show up every week and the conversation, it's there, but it's minimal. And, people probably won't notice if I skip a week. And then sure enough, I show up at the Rest Easy Expo today. And this gorgeous woman with bright green hair, so if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about, rocks up and goes, "Did you do a Thirsty Thursday this week?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, good. Like, just making sure I hadn't missed anything." And therein lies the proof that it's important for me to keep showing up in this space. And so, oops, my bad. Yes, it's totally okay that I missed a week, and totally okay that I got to, just honor that I was tired. But it felt like a really important reminder that if I stop doing things because I feel like nobody else is watching or getting anything out of it, that's actually not necessarily true. And it's not, it shouldn't feed into any of the motivation, right? If I'm living in alignment and doing what lights me up, which is having all these conversations, it shouldn't matter who is or is not responding to me. So anyway, I thought I would jump in and do a very belated Thirsty Thursday. So for those of you new into this community, and there's been like 130 of you join in the last 24 hours. So if you're new to this space, welcome. My name is Jo, and I am the founder of I'm Her Women's Wellbeing, which is a safe space to land as you explore and get curious about who you are as a sensual, pleasure dominant being. So I'm constantly talking, teaching, advocating for you, your pleasure, and that connection to yourself as a sensual and sexual being. So every Thursday I will pop in around the 7 o'clock mark, give or take, and talk into a theme, whether it's for 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Just keep layering conversation into this space, because I am an educator and an advocate. So you can find me here online in that space. You can find me in my mentoring groups. You can find me in my in-person workshops or online learning spaces, or you can find me one-on-one for bodywork and yoni massage. Whoops, I just noticed that I hadn't finished vacuuming. I am a Kahuna body worker and yoni massage therapist as well. So I do work very closely in that one-on-one space. So anyway, I spent the day today at the Rest Easy Expo, did 3 back-to-back workshops, introducing more amazing women to the work that I do. And I thought I would come in today and do a catch up on Thursday's Thirsty Thursday, which I didn't do, and drop a little bit of some of the workshops from today into this space. So in the work that I did today, I brought 4 words into everyone's awareness. So I find language really, really powerful to work with, especially when you look at words and you look at the way in which they hold a meaning or an energy and an intention. So for example, I'm here in my Joy Huntress shirt. And if I just take you over to my left boob, joy is journey of you. So joy in my world is the process of learning and accepting and loving with compassion and understanding all parts of your journey to this point. Because this point doesn't get to exist unless you have walked through all the lessons and learnings and blessings and celebrations along the way. And so your true embodied joy is the full acceptance of your journey. So joy is a word I use a lot, but it means something a lot different to what a lot of people would use it. I also use the word pleasure and look at it as please her, a permission slip for you to exist in your pleasure, for you to please self, for your pleasure to exist as a priority in your life and within your relationship. So pleasure, please her. Sensual is another word that I invite everyone to sit with and think of it and feel into it as sense your all. For you to be really sitting in the power of your pleasure and your sensuality is to understand that there's no negotiation. You're not pleasurable and sensual once you look a certain way, lose a certain amount of weight, dissolve wrinkles and cellulite, and have the attention of onlookers, meet that goal, wax those legs. None of that actually is needed for you to negotiate your way towards being a sensual pleasure being. And so to sense your all is to go on the journey of knowing all of self within the love and light, look at me, happy life, and the messy, icky, stucky, shadowy stuff that we keep hidden. So to be truly within the power of your sensuality is to know that all of that exists. The full spectrum of self exists, and none of it is not you being a sensual being. It's all part of it. Is when you have permission to more fully exist in your own space and to sense your allness, then you have more ability to become truly aware of who you are and how you move through different spaces, places, environments, relationships, and understand truly how they sit within you, whether you're in alignment or in misalignment, right? A lot of people go, what do you mean alignment, not alignment? There's just life and you do the thing, and sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's not. Yeah, okay. But how do you know when it's something that is truly lighting you up or meant for you or adding value to your life? Well, only you know that. And only you know that in equal measure to how well you know yourself, how well you are able to sense your allness, your beingness in each space. So when we then look at things like consent, how can we give our true embodied consent? How do we know where our boundaries are if we don't actually know who we are? If we aren't in a place where we sense our all, if we aren't really going on the journey of uncovering ourselves as full embodied sensual beings, how can we give our consent? How can we know our yeses and our nos truly if we don't actually know ourselves? And the other fourth word that I introduced today, and the last one I want to leave you with today, is libido. So in the work I do, a lot of women in their 30s, 40s and beyond, mention things like, I'm all dried up, I don't have a sex drive, my libido's plummeting, yada, 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 yada. And what I've also learned is that quite often that coincides with as an extension of this sensual, this sensual allness, the ability to know self as a physical being, a pleasure being, an energetic being, an intuitive being, right? The 4 layers of anatomy that I teach in the Anatomy of Pleasure workshop. Segue, go book in for that. there's both in-person and online opportunities coming up. So if libido contains the word I do, then maybe your sexual desire, your libido, your sex drive is actually the language that your body speaks when it is fully able to feel the power of sensuality and can clearly give consent. can clearly give I do. Now, the cool thing about libido and the I do is that in order to feel and understand what our desires are, there's a really close correlation between that and understanding ourselves as emotional beings as well. So emotions are energy in motion. So then we look at the map of the energy meridians in the body, and we can see the pathways through which energy and emotions move through us. So if we're feeling a bit stuck and stagnant, we've got a little tool that we can look at and use as a self-touch tool, or a massage tool that we can give to a partner and say, I'd love to receive a massage tonight, and I'd love for you to kind of map these energy lines on my body and just help me come back into feeling like I'm home within myself. Now, if you also take, now this is me being the body worker, if you take the map of the energy meridians and also Google up an image of the lymphatic system and put them side by side, or even one on top of the other, you will see that there is quite a lot of crossover. So the energy meridians in the body correlate closely with the lymphatic system in the body. Now, the lymphatic system is a waste removal from the body. So maybe if we're feeling stuck and stagnant emotionally and mentally, maybe we actually are. Maybe we can learn different lymphatic massage techniques and touch techniques to get the lymphatic system moving, knowing that consequentially we're also mapping the energy meridians in our body and offering the body the opportunity to move through the stuck and stagnant emotions at the same time. So if we're moving ourselves out of stuck and stagnant illness, right, and we're more back in flow, then we're more back in flow with our emotion self, our mental self, our intuitive self, our energetic self. Pleasure starts to move through us again. And then, what do you know? We're back online with our sensuality, our sensualness, right? And we get clarity. Our creativity is flowing again. And yes, we can feel the nudges for yes. And we can feel that, ooh, no, I'm not so sure about that, more clearly, because our libido is actually the language of consent that we feel in the body. And if we feel like that's plummeting, we can actually use things like lymphatic touch and movement and jiggling and wobbling and massage that follows the energy meridians intentionally to help us plug back into the energy networks in our body that help us feel more clear, have more clarity on who we are, what we want, where we're going, and where we need to say our yeses to, right? And quite often when we're feeling more plugged back into who we are as sensual pleasure beings, then the natural consequence is the sex drive or the libido comes back online, because we no longer doubt ourselves. We are fully feeling empowered. We know what we want, where we're going, where to say yes to, where to say no to, or how to make a vulnerable ask, or how to trust curiosity, how to maybe not know the end outcome, but feel curious enough to lean in anyway, because it's not just about where am I going? What's it going to look like? You need to give me all the information. We actually have a relationship with ourselves as physical, pleasure, energetic, and intuitive beings, and we can grab hold of that intel in each and every moment and keep saying yes, or yes, oh, I'm not sure, pausing, more information, yes, no, right? Embodied consent is a moment-by-moment experience, and libido is a moment-by-moment experience. Your turn-on is a moment-by-moment experience, because we're present and we're in the moment, and while we're in the moment, we are activated in our sensuality, our sensualness. And so that is a very brief look at the way in which I use language to really drop you into the intention of, well, if I'm just spurting this stuff out, like, what am I actually saying? Okay? We exist not just as physical vessels. We are far more than that. We're energy, we're pleasure, We're intuitive. We just are all that through the expression of the body. And it's really fun to go on the journey of connecting that all back in and feeling really empowered with who you are along the way. So that's my little catch up with Thursday and a little share from what I spoke to everyone about today at the Rest Easy Expo and the 3 workshops that I did there. If you happen to have been one of the attendees, but let me know below, say hello. And guys, if you're new in this space, every Thursday I'm here around 7 o'clock having a curious conversation with you about all things to do with sensuality, sexuality, pleasure. Basically anything that's taboo is full permission to exist in this space. And I would love to show up in response to some of your curious questions as well. So you can put them in the comments below. You can comment on other videos that you've seen if they've inspired a thought or a question. You can send me a private message, whatever, right? This is your safe space as well. And you deserve to be seen and heard. You deserve to have support and wisdom and guidance. And you are very welcome to offer that into this space as well. So if you're new, a warm welcome to you. If you've been here since the beginning, and I think we started this community in COVID, and it's evolved. But yeah, if you've been here for 5 years, a big love heart to you as well. But guys, that's me signing out. Thank you, Anne, for kicking my bum today and reminding me that I'd missed this Thursdays. But I'll be back this coming Thursday, 7 p.m. for another curious conversation on our Thirsty Thursdays. Bye, guys.